first truth that you have to understand, the first thing you have to come to grips with is we are all going to die. And I'm encouraging sermon today, right? Just lift you up, make you feel great. We're all going to die. Listen, life is a terminal illness. Death is the inescapable reality of life for all of us. Every one of us, every one of you, in case you haven't come to grips with this, one day you are going to die. You can't escape it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished in life. It doesn't matter who you know. It doesn't matter how healthy you've been or how much you've exercised or how many vitamins you've taken. It doesn't matter who your doctor is. It doesn't matter what kind of family history you have. You're going to die. Thanks, Pastor Sean. That's great. No problem. Hebrews, let me show you the Bible. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. It says, man is destined to die once. It's your destiny. You got an appointment. All right? Now, you know, some people try to escape that reality. You may remember Ted Williams, baseball player? Like all the old guys. Ted Williams, incredible baseball player. Ted Williams, when he died, his son had his head cryogenically frozen. Okay? He couldn't afford to do the whole body, so they just took the head and froze it. And the notion is that someday, maybe, somehow, possibly, off in the future, they'll find a cure for what Ted Williams died of, and I don't know what they'll do. I guess unfreeze the head and stick it on. I don't know. Okay? Maybe they'll clone him a body or something. All right? But then they can heal him, and Ted Williams will be able to live forever. Now, the ironic thing is the cryogenic lab where he's kept, where his head is kept, somewhere in Arizona, and one day one of the lab techs thought it would be a cool practical joke to take a baseball bat and beat up Ted Williams' head. Ted Williams, great, yeah, really, truly. Yeah, just, you know, the guy's in jail now for, I don't know what. He's in jail for something. I said, yeah, assault with I don't know, deadly weapon. He's already dead. But hey, you can't escape death. Doesn't matter who you are, you cannot escape this. Death is your destiny. This life is not forever. Now, we all know that, right? I mean, everybody knows it's a universally recognized truth that we're all going to die. The problem is not that we don't know it. The problem is most people don't want to admit it. Most people don't want to come face to face with that reality. We don't like to own up to it. Man, if you want to kill a party fast, you know, it's just going great, and then, like, hey, everybody, let's talk about dying. Crickets, you know. People don't like to talk about the subject. People don't want to come face to face with their own mortality. We don't like it, and as a result, we don't prepare for it. We don't get ready for it. Because we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to deal with it, we don't want to come face to face with the fact that we are going to die. And so we don't want to think about what that's going to mean for me. And what a lot of people do is they continue living as if their lives are going to go on forever. They live their life as if my life is infinite. I can do whatever I want to because my life's just going to keep going on forever and ever and ever. How crazy is it to know that something is coming? It is the one assured reality in life. You know it's coming. Not be ready for it. Not be prepared for it. You're going to die. And by the way, there's nothing you can do to change that fact. Psalm 89, verse 48 says, what man can live and not see death or save himself from the power of the grave? There's nothing you can do about it. I hate to, burst your bubble if you think there is. But you can't do anything about it. You are going to die, and no amount of effort, no amount of energy on your part is going to change that. Oh, and by the way, as long as I'm on a roll, just kind of knocking you out today, life is fragile and short. It's fragile and short. Anybody over 35 knows that. Okay? You've begun, if you're like me, you've begun to come face to face with that reality. Stuff's starting to break in your body, and it doesn't fix itself. Stuff's falling out, and it's growing back in new places. Okay? Yeah, it is. All right? I mean, things are messing up. This life is short and it's fragile. Job chapter 14. Job says, how frail is humanity, how short is life, and how full of trouble. Like a flower, we blossom for a moment and then wither. Like the shadow of a passing cloud, we quickly disappear. You know how all of us in our 30s are reliving our glory days from our 20s? Because that's all we got. I mean, that's the best there was. Life is short and life is fragile, and your life is going to be gone before you know it. You're like, oh man, I'm 30 years old. I'm in good health. And, I know I'm going to die someday, but it's going to be a while off from now until the train hits your car, until a mugger kills you, until a tornado takes your life.
That's enough.
Life is short and it's fragile. And so you need to be honest with yourself. Listen, that's the best thing you can do, is be honest with yourself about that fact. Say, it's coming, it's real. Am I ready? Am I prepared? You're going to die. And there's nothing you can do to change that fact. Now, here's the deal, and this is really important. You're going to die, and that will be the end of your life here on earth. But that will not be the end of you. That will not be the end of you. Now, that's the problem that a lot of people will get into, and that's the lie that a lot of people believe, is that, well, this life is all there is, and when you die, and that's it. And that's not the truth. You were made to last forever. And in fact, you're going to live infinitely longer on the other side of death than you did on this side of death. This life right here on earth, this is just a hangout. This is just the training ground. This is just preparation. Okay, this is just a glimpse of your life and what it's going to be like for all of eternity. And so you're going to have a lot more on the other side of death than you do on this side of death. So you better be preparing for what's on the other side of it. And get ready for what's on the other side of it. When you die, that's not the end. This life is not all there is, and that's the second truth about hell. The second truth about hell is we will all be judged. And it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? You're going to die, and then you're going to be judged. All right? We're all going to die, and after that, one day, every one of us, one day, is going to have to stand in front of God and be judged. That scares me to death. One day I'm going to have to give an answer. Let me give you one of my Freddy Krueger verses. They give you nightmares. Okay? Jesus says that we'll have to give an answer for every idle word that we speak. Ooh. Every idle word. We're going to have to give an answer for everything we've said. Why'd you say that? Because we want to be cool. We've got to give an answer. Look at what Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27 again says. It says, man is destined to die once, and after that to face judgment. After that to face judgment. Every one of us is going to have to give an answer for our life. For the things we've done, for the things we've said, for the things we've thought, for the ways we've treated other people, for what we've done, for how we've handled the opportunities that God has given us in life. One day you are going to stand face to face in front of Jesus Christ and give an answer for your life. And you're going to make your case. Now, you're going to be judged either one of two ways. Either you've put your trust in Jesus Christ, and you'll be judged on the basis of His life and His righteousness in your place. And you'll be declared not guilty before God on the basis of what Jesus did for you. Or you're going to be judged on the basis of your life and what you've done and how you've lived your life. Now, there's a common belief out there that, it's pretty universal today in America, that if I'm going to stand in front of judgment, if somebody does believe that there's more to this life than just right now, that if I'm going to stand in front of judgment, that my judgment is going to be between the good stuff that I've done and the bad stuff that I've done. God's got this big set of scales, and on one side He's going to put all the good stuff that I've done, and on the other side He's going to put all the bad stuff that I've done. And if I've been a pretty good person, if I've lived a good life, if I've done more good stuff than bad stuff, then I'm okay and I get into heaven. And that's a widely, commonly held belief today. Only bad people, only people who have done really horrible things, who've done more evil than good, are going to go to hell. Take a look at 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. It says, we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive what is due him for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. Now again, if you take just that verse, you might get that idea. That it's whether good or bad. What we've done, we weigh what we've done. If you've done more good than bad, then you get into heaven. The problem is our deeds do not determine our destination. They determine the punishment or reward we will receive once we get there. Okay? So this is talking about not a judgment of where you're going to go. This is talking about judging your life and what's your experience of eternity going to be like once you get there. There are a couple of problems with the common understanding of judgment. The first one is this. If we're really honest with ourselves, how many of us have more good stuff than bad stuff? I mean, if you think about what Jesus said, we've got to give an answer for every idle word. He starts weighing up those. Okay? Oh, and by the way, Jesus says that sin's not just about the things you do, it's about the things you think and the things that are in your heart. Oops. The Bible says, if you, O Lord, kept a record of our wrong, who could stand? If God said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll weigh the good versus the bad always outweighs the good. And so we're all in trouble if that's the way that God does it. Now, the second problem with this thing is it's based on the wrong standard. And I've talked to you about this before. When it comes to eternity, it's not my good versus my bad. It's my life on one side and the life of Jesus Christ on the other side. Now, who of us measured up to that? You see, the standard is not how good I am. It's not how good I think I am. It's not how good I think I've been versus how bad I've been. It's me versus Jesus. His righteousness versus my righteousness. You know, the other problem I found with this issue is I haven't really found anybody who believes this who says, yeah, I'm going to hell. I'm a bad person. I've done awful, terrible things. Yeah, you know, I think God's going to weigh my good versus the bad. I'm done for. Everybody who believes this thinks they're a pretty good person. They live a pretty good life. Now, they believe somewhere out there's people like Hitler and, you know, Charles Manson and those people that are really bad, but they're okay. And so they think they're all right. But that's not the standard. The standard is Jesus Christ and His life. And if my life is measured against His life, then I fall way short of that. Look at what Revelation chapter 20 says. It says, I saw a great white throne, and I saw the one who was sitting on it. The earth and sky fled from His presence, but they found no place to hide. I saw the dead, both great and small, standing before God's throne. Everybody's going to be there. Nobody's exempt. Nobody gets to pay their way out of this. Great and the small, standing before God's throne. And the books were opened. It's like, you know, it's like the records, you know, are opened up. It's like, okay, where's your name? Let's look at how much debt you accrued. So the books are open, including the book of life. And the dead were judged according to the things written in the books, according to what they had done. And anyone whose name was not found recorded in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. There is a record of our lives. A record of what we've done, and how we've lived our lives, and the things that we've said, and how we've treated other people. But there's another book. The book of life of the Lamb. Those whose names written in that book are those who've given their lives to Jesus Christ. And if your name is found written in the book of life, then you spend eternity in heaven. And if your name's not written in the book of life, it doesn't matter who you are or what you've done or how good a person you've been, you'll be cast into